Welcome back to All Classics Restoration. I just wanted to sum up this year that we've just finished up, 2024, and where we're going in 2025 with projects here in the shop. And just to give you a little state of the channel and where we're at with things. So 2024, we got a few projects finished up, but not the most important one, which I'm standing in front of here, and that's our 69 Mercedes 280 project. And the reason for that was this car, as you see, is now back in the shop, but it was sent to upholstery back in April. And the car was supposed to be there for about 2 to 3 months and was going to have the top done and the carpeting put in the car because he's doing a custom carpet kit because of the color that the customer wanted done on the carpet. So we couldn't buy a ready-made cut kit. So as months went by, things came up at the upholstery shop, and work wasn't proceeding as I wanted it to. I'd been promised that it would be done, it would be done, it would be done. So I learned a valuable lesson this year, and that is, in this day and age, loyalty is not something that you can count on anymore. I happen to be somebody who works with subletters, and I'm loyal to those subletters. They do a good job for me. I use them, and I don't use anybody else. I know they'll do the work for me that I need done, and I can trust their work. And I have a couple of shops that I work with that I don't do certain things here at this shop. I kind of try to pride myself on doing as much as I can in-house, but there's just certain things I don't do. And upholstery work, cut and sew upholstery work is one of them. Another area I don't get into is building automatic transmissions. And there again, I've got a guy that I've worked with for over 20 years, and I know I can always rely on him. Now, I've been through a couple of different upholsterers in that same time period. One guy I was using, he does very, very good work, but on the same hand, he's a little bit expensive. They say that adage, you get what you pay for. Well, when you pay for top level, you get top level work. But not all my customers can afford that top level upholstery job. They don't want to spend $10,000 on the upholstery in their car. So I have another guy that I started to work with, and he does very good work too. And he's a little bit more reasonable on his pricing. He'll work with you on things. And so I've been using him for quite a while. I'm not going to throw out any names. But this is what happened this year with this car. Is it went to his shop, and it sat, and it sat, and it sat, and it sat. And I got excuse after excuse on why the car wasn't finished. It got to the point where I finally had to just go pick the car up. The soft top, as you can see, it's got a new soft top on it, was completed. The carpeting wasn't done. I really wanted to have the carpeting done in this car and the soft top done. Everything else, upholstery-wise for this car, he could finish without having the car at his shop. So I picked the car up, brought it back here so I could get back to work on getting it reassembled. And you see I've got the back end of the car wet sanded and buffed out. I've started putting some trim back on. I've been cleaning up the trim. I've got most of the trim back on the rear end of the car here. So that's where we're at with this project. We're going to keep moving forward with the assembly, getting the glass put back in it, dash put back together. I've got a wet sand and buff the front of the car yet. We need to get this car done this year. It's been here way too long. The customer's been extremely patient with the delays in getting the car finished. But it's time to have this car move on. I've got several other projects that this is holding me up from bringing in because I don't have the room. I've got trim here ready to go. The hard top is done. It's ready to go. You see way back in the background there, that's the cover that goes over top of the soft top here. So we've got all that done. So we're going to go walk around. I'll take you around. I'll show you a few other things that happened this year and what we're going to be working on. Another one of our long-term projects that's been here way too long is our 71 Challenger. So I've been making great strides on this car the past month and a half or so. I've got all my floor pans, trunk pans in. I've got the trunk pillar in. I'm working on the firewall on it right now. And I got a couple small pieces I have to fabricate to repair some rust on it. and then it's ready for the quarters to go on it. This car, when finished in solid metal and all epoxy primer, will be for sale. Now I've got a buyer that could possibly be interested in it here local, but if you know anybody that needs or is looking for a good solid 71 Challenger body that comes with whatever extra parts we had for it, and there's not a whole lot, it's got a title, be a great candidate to take everything from your car, put it into this car. So this will be done as a what they would call body in white. Be all ready to go. Somewhere's in the price range, $12,000 to $14,000 is what this car is going to be listed at. Again, it's got all new AMD sheet metal in it, from the trunk pan, complete trunk, trunk filler, rain gutters. I've got a new trunk lid for it, under seat pan, footwell pans, main floor pan, firewall cowl, new quarter panels, new valances front and rear. I've got the back glass for it. I've got quarter window glass for it. I do have the quarter window regulators. I've got a bunch of other parts up there, just miscellaneous parts. Main thing that's missing is most of the interior. There's no drivetrain for it. I've got all the original suspension, and everything that we have for this car will go with it. So if you know anybody that's interested, this car will be up for sale within the next probably 2 months, I'd say. End of February, sometime in March, this should be ready. I've got doors and fenders for it. They're all original and they're in really good shape. I've got to do a little bit of work to the fenders, but the doors are in great shape. They'll be primed and mounted back on the car. And same with the fenders. They will be in primer and just set on the car for transport. All right, one of the other projects we've got this year to work on is our 63 Austin Healey. Now, I've done a little bit of work to this car about a month or so ago. I did a compression check on the engine, and I actually got it to start and run. So that was a big plus there. There won't have to be any major engine work done to this car. So we'll see a lot of this car this year on the channel. Another car that we've got to do some work on here is this Thunderbird. We've got a 55 Thunderbird that belongs to my uncle, and basically he just wants to get the car running and driving and do something with the top. We need to work on the top alignment and get this car to where it's he can just go out and have some fun with it and drive it downtown to some cruise-ins and whatnot. He's 81 years old and he's still a car nut. If you don't know my uncle yet, he is a vendor of classic add-on parts, 50s style add-on parts. His website is thekingofdice.com. You'll find a lot of nice older rat rod style parts that he has there. Something else that we got this year, many of you saw the video on it, is this yellow beast sitting under this tarp here. This is my 57. This was my first car that magically found me again, and my older son Brian helped in reacquiring it and bringing it back to the family. And we're going to try and get some work done on this car this year. I've got an engine. I've still got the engine that I originally had for it. We're going to see if we can't get that put together and get this car running and driving. Maybe not this year, but we're going to get some work done on it this year for sure. So the other thing we've got, I just acquired this 74 Dodge D200. This is going to be my new shop truck. So we've got to do some work on this as we use it as the shop truck. And I've got a video that'll be coming out on this. I had to go to Arkansas to work on this truck. It had sat for about 3 years, and I spent about a week in Arkansas working on the truck and just getting it ready, road ready, and I drove it 910 miles home from Arkansas with no issues. Alright, so one of the things we worked on this year and got out of the way, this little small project for a friend of mine's daughter, was just getting the front end of this here truck straightened out. It had been hit at one point, probably on this side, and I think it shoved everything to the right. So the front end was really out of alignment, pretty bad. They'd replaced the fenders and the hood, and that was about it. So I needed to get the front end straightened out, and I could not for the life of me get everything to shift back over to the left. So what I found, two things. I found one was the radiator core support in there was racked, so it was kind of twisted this way. And I do believe that the fronts of these two frame horns are pushed over just a little bit, which really won't affect the rest of the truck frame from the front cross member back, because these, as you can see, they move pretty easy, and there's really nothing that's keeping them from moving. So they're designed actually to move in the front so that the rest of the frame doesn't get tweaked in a minor accident. And I managed to get them back a little bit more, but then I had to do some creative engineering to get the core support to shift to the left side of the truck as much as I needed it to in order to get my gaps nice. So now we've got good gaps on the hood on either side of this, and that is the end of this project for me. So what did we get done this year? Well, Project Marcia got finished up this year, but I had a big push go on with Project Marcia from August until the beginning of the show. I got all the body work done, got the car painted, got it put back together, detailed out nice, and took the car to the 2024 Holly Mo Party show, where it was a big hit. Everybody loved seeing the transformation from last year's show to this year's show with the car being finished. So that was one project we got done. I've done a lot of small jobs while I was waiting on the Mercedes to return. It gave me a chance to catch up on a lot of smaller jobs that people had been asking me to do. I have a new customer that he'd been wanting me to work on his car for a couple years. It was a 70 Firebird, or 73 Firebird. I've got videos on the channel in the playlist on that car. I did quite a bit of work to it. It was a new acquisition for him that he kind of bought sight unseen, and we kind of go over why it's not a good idea to do that in those videos. But there was a lot of little things done to that car to improve some of the things that weren't done before it was sold to him. And he had a couple other vehicles that I worked on too, so I got a lot of little things done for him. Some other smaller jobs that came through I got knocked out again while waiting. So where are we going this year? You may have noticed that my content uploads have been a little sparse lately. I'm going to be quite honest with you, I've kind of lost my fire. After Mo Party, there was a kind of a big hit there. I got mentioned by Uncle Tony's Garage, and I was able to get over that hump of 1,000 subscribers. So I thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel so far. I did get over 1,000. I think I'm at 1,038 subscribers now, which is great. But then again, with the way YouTube works, you have to have your subscribers, and you also have to have watch time before you're monetized, to where you start to get some income from your video uploads that you do. And I sit right now at just a little over 2,000 watch hours, and it's really a shame because every year they reset that number, and you have to have 4,000 watch hours in 1 year's time. And it may sound easy to do, but I've also discovered that a lot of people's attention span is that of a gnat anymore. Most of my videos, I've been trying to keep them down 15-20 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes I'll have a lengthy one that'll go an hour. But even though it doesn't matter how long or short I make my videos, my average view time is between 3 and 4 minutes. And that's it. So if I'm only getting 100 or a couple hundred views at 3 or 4 minutes a time, it takes a long time for those hours to add up. I just have not had a video that has gone viral, as they say, and has gotten 100,000 views, where that would take my view time, even at 3 or 4 minutes, would really shoot it up. I had a couple videos that did go over 5,000 views. One was on one of the SEGA events, the Southeast Gasser events I went to, and the other one was on the road trip with the yellow 57 to go get the car, and the story about how I got the car back. Those both had over 5,000 views, which equaled out to a couple hundred hours worth of watch time. Again, 5,000 views, a couple hundred hours of watch time. It's a difficult game to play. I'm kind of getting tired of playing the game, but I want to keep my content going. So you may see a video from me from here on out, maybe every couple weeks, maybe once a month, and it'll just be an update on a project that we're doing. I'll walk around and show you everything that's been done. It seems like the instructional videos that I do are just not hitting home with everybody. That's kind of what I do. I like to show people how to do things, how to do it the right way, the shortcuts that I've found and make it easier to do certain things. I like to share those with everybody out there, but it's just not something that grabs everybody's attention and makes them want to sit there and watch it for the whole 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever length the video is. So I'll continue to do those videos every now and then when I come across something that I've not shown before, or something that I think is important that people may want to know. I'm going to do my car show videos. I'm going to do some drag race videos. We'll be doing updates on the projects, like I said. So this year we're going to finish up the Mercedes. We've got the Austin Healey to work on. I've got the 72 442 that is up at my blast shop. They're just waiting for me to say go ahead and blast it, and I can't do that until I've got room here in the shop to keep it inside. So we'll be working on that this year. We're going to be doing work on the 74 Dodge pickup as the new shop truck, and we're going to try and get some work done on the yellow 57. So we've got a lot of things coming up this year that we're going to be working on. Hopefully this year goes smoother and I make a little bit better decisions about how to schedule my time with these projects this year, and we can keep things flowing a little bit better. Thanks again for following along, everybody that's subscribed. I really appreciate that I've been able to get over 1,000 subscribers. It's kind of blown me away that many people want to watch what I'm doing here in the shop. I'd love for a lot more people to watch what I've got going on, but that's the state of the world today, and I'm going to take what I got. I'm going to keep putting out some content for everybody to see what we got going on here. You may see Ashton back again on video this year during his summer break. I'm going to try and get him a project of his own to work on, to keep him busy and keep him off his tablet and iPad and watching videos on TV. I'd rather have him learning how to do something here in the shop, so I'm going to come up with something for him to work on this year, so you'll get to see that too. But thanks again for following along, and we'll see you again on the next one.